Hi, this is Gary with MACMOST.com. Here are some ways that you can save money when buying Apple products. Now, no doubt about it, Apple products are expensive, but there are some ways you can save money when buying a new one. For instance, you can go to the Apple Refurbished store. So these are most commonly products that were returned and then get refurbished by Apple, sometimes replacing entire parts inside of the device. Then checked over, and Apple gives you a special 1-year warranty with them. So if you go to apple.com/shop/refurbished, you can browse through these. So for instance, if you're looking for a new Mac, you can look at the refurbished Macs here, choose the model that you want, let's say an iMac here, see what's available, and you can see how much money you'll save over buying this one new. I myself have bought many Apple refurbished products and have been very happy with them. You can also buy refurbished Apple products from other retailers, although it's really common online to see lots of people complaining about issues with those. I'm sure the majority of them are good. I've never tried to buy one from someone else myself. Now, you can also buy Apple products from stores other than Apple. Some are online, some are brick and mortar. For instance, here's a well-known, well-established online shop that sells computers. And you could see that they occasionally run deals where you'll save money off of Apple's price. Here's another one, very well known, and you'll find most of Apple's products here. And sometimes they'll have specials and you get a little bit off of the price from Apple. Other times, you'll actually get new Apple products that Apple has recently stopped selling. So you get those a little cheaper, and you may not be able to find them from Apple at all. Now, if you're a student, you can get a discount from Apple on some products. If you go to apple.com/us-edu/store, for instance, you're in the US educational store, and you're going to see all the Apple products listed here. And when you go to take a look at them, you'll see that the prices are adjusted for educational pricing. It's been a long time since I've been able to use this, but I think at some point you have to identify yourself as a student, maybe which school you go to, that kind of thing. Sometimes you can also go to college school stores and they'll have Apple products for sale there, and they'll have the educational discount as well. By the way, if you find these videos valuable, consider joining the more than 2,000 others that support MacMost at Patreon. You get exclusive content, course discounts, and more. You can read about it at macmost.com/Patreon. Another way to save money is to trade in your old Mac product when upgrading. This is most commonly done with iPhones, but it can be done with Macs as well. So you can go to apple.com/shop/trade-in, and you can give information about your product and get a quote from them about how much you'll get when you trade it in. I've done this before with iPhones, and you could either set it up so you can trade in the old iPhone after updating to the new one, or you could have the trade-in ready and swap it right there at the store. Now, of course, another way to save money is to buy a used product instead of a new one. You can find plenty of used Macs, iPads, and iPhones for sale online. Of course, you got to be very careful because there are a lot of scammers out there, both the ones scamming you completely like there is no product or it's a different product, and the ones that just simply aren't telling you about some issue with it. For this reason, I completely avoid buying things like used Macs online. However, sometimes we get chances to buy a used Mac from a friend or family member, somebody we trust, and that could be a really good deal. Also, there are stores that sell used Macs. And if you know one in your area, particularly if you know it's been there for a long time, maybe you visited them before, there's probably a level of trust there. And they also probably provide some amount of support after they sell it. So those could be better deals. You're probably not going to get scammed if you're actually walking into a store that's been there selling Macs for 10 years. Now, another way to save money is to be careful about what you buy. For instance, you could buy a MacBook Air or a MacBook Pro. So often I hear about people buying a MacBook Pro, which start at $1,600, when they could have done with a MacBook Air, and those start at $1,100. Now, if you got the money, that's fine. But if you're looking to save money, a lot of times the MacBook Air is a better deal than the MacBook Pro, or the Mac Mini is a better deal than the Mac Studio. So keep that in mind. And if you're worried about something like, say, you're worried that a MacBook Air can't handle the photo editing you need to do, or the screen isn't bright enough, or something like that, then try to visit an Apple store or another retailer that's going to have them on display where you could try them. But you can go into an Apple store, walk up to a MacBook Air, maybe download a large image online, bring it into the Photos app, try applying some effects, try different things, and see exactly how it looks on the screen and how well it works. And this may help you feel more confident in buying the cheaper MacBook Air over the MacBook Pro. And also, I've recently done a video on getting an external drive to save money on the high cost of an internal drive. Apple charges a premium for internal storage, while I certainly don't ever recommend getting the smallest amount of internal storage. In a lot of situations, you can have a compromise and get the 0.5 terabyte or 1 terabyte SSD from Apple, and then get an external drive to supplement that. So check out my video on that, and I myself use an external drive for archiving to save space on the internal drive, allowing me to save a little money when I bought my Mac Studio. Now, there's no doubt about it that the bargain Mac is the Mac Mini. And one of the reasons it's the cheapest Mac by far is it doesn't come with a screen, it doesn't come with a keyboard, and it doesn't come with a mouse or trackpad, which allows you to save a lot of money if you already have all of those things. If you're simply upgrading your Mac and you want to keep using your keyboard and your mouse and you already have a good display, you can just get a new Mac Mini and that's it. You're not spending the money on the display like you are with an iMac or a MacBook. Even if you don't have any of those, you could save money by buying non-Apple versions. Certainly, the Apple Studio display is a very expensive display. You can get a $300 4K display very easily, and you can get keyboards and a mouse or a trackpad each for well under $100 and save money versus the Apple products. Now, also note that Apple accessories tend to be pretty expensive as well. So for instance, here at the Apple site, if I wanted to get a second charger for a MacBook, a common thing people want to do, you could see it's $59 for a new 70-watt USB-C power adapter, which is what you may want. And if you look on Amazon, you'll find the same power adapter from Apple at the same price, but you'll also find adapters from other companies that are 70 watts or even more. And those could be half the price or less. And the same thing goes for buying cables. You need some extra cables, you need some adapters, things like that. You can usually find them cheaper than what Apple sells. And even if Apple sells a third-party one at their site, usually it's a premium at the exact retail price. You're not going to find any sales or anything like that at the Apple store. Now, here's one that only save you a little bit of money, but you should definitely save it, and it's easy to forget. Use your credit card to get those points. If you're like me and never carry a balance on your credit card, the points are just free money. Now, one of the best deals you can get is using Apple's own card. Since the Apple Card is Apple's own card, one of the things they do is offer 3% back when you buy from Apple. But there are other cards out there that will also offer 2, 3, or even more back when buying from anywhere. And there are even sometimes special deals. Like one of my other cards sometimes offers special deals when buying from a store like Best Buy, which of course sells Apple products. So buying with that card at the right time while a deal is available could actually get me a significant discount on that product. And finally, let's talk about digital products. So when you buy something from Apple, like it could be music, it could be iCloud storage space, or it could be an app, you get that product, but did you know you could most likely share that with your family? So Apple has family plans. So for instance, if you wanted to get Apple Music for you and say 2 other members of a family, you can save significantly by using family sharing. The same thing when purchasing music and also drive space. You can share iCloud drive space with others. Plus, a lot of apps allow family sharing as well. So you buy an app in the App Store, whether it's for the iPhone or for the Mac, and everybody else in your family sharing group also gets to use that app. So check out apple.com/family-sharing, and you can read more about family sharing, how to enable it with your Apple ID and everybody else's Apple ID, and set that up so you can save some money on digital products. So there's some ways to save money when buying Apple products. I hope you found this useful. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, click the thumbs up button below to let me know. I publish new tutorials each weekday. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out.